Guys, so today, to revamp this bookshelf, I need to go through some books and get rid of some. So today we're gonna go through the books to determine which I'm just not gonna read and to get rid of. So this is a selection here. I also have another bookshelf at my parents' house, so we'll be going over there later today to go through those books as well. Those are books I have already read or some that I just don't see myself picking up. So let's get to it. Also, my husband lovingly wrapped all of these to make it fun for me to read my books. So I'm going to lightly peel some of them to see what they are. I don't want to ruin all his beautiful work. I think he'd be very upset. So we're gonna lightly peel all of these, see what we're gonna completely unpeel and get rid of. So my TBR shrinks just a little bit. So let's go do that. Alright guys, so I have successfully trimmed down the TBR. As you can see, it now fits on all one side. So I'm going to show you what I eliminated and why. So first, we have The Perfect Marriage. Honestly, I read the back, thought it was really interesting. You know, I'm married, so, but I like more psychological thrillers where it's more character driven and I want to get inside these people's minds. This is very straightforward, like husband cheats on wife and mistress dies. Who do you think actually killed her? Take a wild guess. So this is very straightforward. Prose is very straightforward and just not my vibe for a thriller or mystery. Next, we have 1,000 Boy Kisses. Now, some of these books everyone's gonna hate me for getting rid of. However, I like beautiful written prose that immerses me into the story. A lot of YA books do not do that. They're very straightforward, written for young adult and teens. This is one of them. I'm also not a big romance reader, so I need the romance to feel earned, and I need the characters to feel earned, and I need the writing style to also feel earned. Now, I picked this up because of everyone saying how emotional it was. I'm not a popular book reader. If the prose is just not there, the characters are not there, I'm not gonna pick it up. So that's for that one. Okay, next, this one I don't think a lot of people have heard of. When I Shouldn't Stayed. So this is about a husband and wife and the conflict between them. As much as this does kind of go with my taste, again, I believe it's the prose. It's just very direct, very choppy, does not flow. Dialogue kind of repeats itself, and maybe the conflict doesn't feel earned, so this is a no for me too. Okay, another popular one. I'm a fall girly, but no. I'm also not a big spice reader. It has to feel earned. The romance has to feel earned. I'm not a romance reader. I like romance as more of a subplot instead of the actual premise. There has to be a plot in prose. So, no, this has sexual content in it, and prose is very not so good. Also, plot not so good. It is, no. as much as people love it as a cozy read, just not for me. Next, this one was pretty popular a couple of years ago. Same reason, just not a romance reader, and relationship has to feel earned and the writing style has to feel earned for me, so this is also a no. Alright, again, with the cozy fall books, right? Same as the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. This is basically the same thing, just with different characters, so obviously a no for me. Okay, this one was also popular for being an emotional book. Mind you, I gravitate more towards character and emotional stories. This one was a no for me. Not because it's bad, not because the prose is necessarily bad, just I'm not a big fan of reading about high school drama or, you know, a teenager perspective. Also, this deals with some triggered warning content that I just don't feel like reliving. I went through it myself and I've just grown out of this. So this is a no for me. Alright, again with the romance. False Start by Elsie Silver. I want to preference, I am not criticizing anyone's taste. This is just for me. Again, not a romance reader. She's very big, like, just romance, smut kind of character arcs or romance arcs or whatever you call them. Not for me. I will not be picking up any of her books. Sorry. Alright, another very popular book, Binding 13 and the Boys of Tommen. Again, juvenile, high school perspective, teenager perspective. Dialogue is very criticized, writing style is very criticized, and you know, kind of just, I'm not a YA reader. Romance and YA are not my things. The only YA I've really loved was You've Reached Sam and also the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, but that's because the prose was beautiful and the characters were earned for me. So I'm gonna have to pass on this one. So, alright, these two kind of go together. This is also a very popular series, the Magnolia Park series. I got this a while ago. Kind of grown out of it, mostly because I watched one of my favorite booktubers. She kind of explained what happens in this and like the relationship in this, and I never liked those very rich people, wealthy people kind of drama stories, and this is kind of it with a toxic relationship, and that's not something I'd just be interested in, so I'm gonna have to move on from the... Alright, last but not least is Aristotle and Dante. I've heard a lot of great things about this, and don't get me wrong, I think it's a beautiful YA story. I haven't read it. You know, the premise sounds good. It's just I worry about YA books and the way they're written, and this is definitely written for teenagers in high school or middle school, and I just think I've grown out of that writing style. I read a lot of complex books, and this just does not interest me or fancy me anymore, so yeah, it's gonna have to go. So yeah, that was my TBR clean out. As you can see, it's very pretty now. Thank you for watching. If you kind of agree with what I like to read and write, please give me a follow and come along with more of my writing and reading journeys. I'll see you guys in the next video.